Hello, Graham Howarth from pagebuilderinminutes.com here. In today's video we're going to look at 5 ways that you can improve the content and style of your email form within the page that we've created. Now to do this I'm going to build on the previous videos. So if you haven't seen those videos, and that's where we created the basic landing page, then I'll put the links below this video and you can take a look at those before you come back here. Okay, let's go to the landing pages and forms section, and here now we can either look at everything that we've got on Email Octopus at the moment, or we can just look at the landing pages or just the forms. So if we go to the landing pages, then we'll take a look at this page that we created earlier, and I used time management as the subject just to give us some context for the page that we were building. Let's go into the page and we will look at the preview of the page just so we can remind ourselves of what it was looking like last time we did some changes to it. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you go to the URL of that page. But if we go back into the editor now, then I'm not going to cover these sections at the moment. I'll do that in a subsequent video. But what we're going to look at is focusing on the form itself, the email form itself, which is here. And if I hover over it, you'll see we get the box come up. So if I click on there, then it will take us to the area where we can amend the form itself, and there are several things we can do on there. If we just scroll up and down here, that's where we can do that. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is change some of the text. So if I just say just make that please send it to me, and that will change the text over here on the button. Now what we can also do is change the font size and the actual fonts of these areas here. But just as a reminder, if we go back to the form itself and go into the style, then I just scroll down, you'll see that we can change the font size here. And if I increase this font size, let's say up to 22, you'll see that all of this text has changed size here. Now I'm just going to set that back to 18 so that we've got slightly bigger text on the button. You can set that to 20 if you wanted. You can set it higher. It's up to you what size you have there, but I'll just leave that as 18. Now you'll see the email address has also increased in size. So if we go back to the form again, then if I scroll down here, you will see that we can change the color of the text if we wish to, and at the moment the text is that color. But if I go in here, I can actually change the color of the text in one of two ways. I can either click on this slider bar here or move the button around to give me the color I want. Let's say go into this blue, and then if I take this circle here, I can move that around to select a color, or I can click within that box and it will move automatically, but I can change it like this as well. So you'll see the code of the color changing down here as I move this button. Okay, so that's one way we can do that, and so if we let that will change, that will make it a slightly darker color, so that we're changing the color of the button, the text there. But if I want to change that back, I can do it again in a couple of ways. I can either reselect the color to be whatever I want it to be. Let's say go for a white colour here. Can change it to white. Or if I know the code that I want to use, then let's just use all the Fs. I can put that code in there and it will change the colour for me as well. So that's one way in which you can change the text colour. If I look at this here, we've now got the FFF that I keyed in there, but if I know the code that I want to use, because it's one of my brand colours, then I can do that and just hit return there, and that will change the colour as well. But if we change it back at the moment just to be a nice white colour, oh, one more F, there's the white colour there. So that's how we can change the text and the size of the font on the button. If we want to change the colour of the button itself, it's very similar. We go into the colour bar, just scroll down so you can see that, and again we can either use the slider to give us the colour that we want, or I can move the button here, or I can click anywhere in the colour box to give me a colour, or again, if I know the colour, then I can set it in this code field, and I just select that as white. But of course, if I do that, my text is white as well, so it's probably not a good thing to do. So if I change that to my brand colour, for example, then it will come up with blue and a nice white text on there. Also, if I know the if we go back to the form, if I know the if I scroll down, if I know the colour that I want to use, I can key it in there straight away. So I'll just leave that as it is, but we could change that to something else. So that's how we can change the colour of the text and the colour of the button that goes behind the text. Okay, next, if we look at the fields themselves, then I can change the field colour here. At the moment it's sort of a paley blue colour. So if I look at that, again, very similar way, I can change that either by clicking on the colour, I can slide the bar, or I can click directly into the box, or I can move this around and it will change the colour over here behind the, so let's change it to something different. There, that's gone to a dark blue now. Or if I just want that to be a white colour, then I move to the top left hand corner there and select that colour. Again, if I know the colour that I want the field to be, let's move that back, say to the white again. I can change it there, or I can change it back to the sort of colour that I'd like to see, which maybe complements what I'm doing. Maybe something like that. There, I can select the colour that I want, sort of a paley grey colour. Okay, so that's how we change the background colour of the field itself. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is the border around the email form fields. So if we just go to the preview screen, you'll see that where it says email address has got a white border around it. So what we're going to do is go back to the editor and into the form fields, and we will look at the border colour around the field itself. And again, you can do this in several ways. either by selecting the colour from here with slider bar, or putting in the actual code. So again, I'll use my brand blue colour, and you'll see if we just click on here that the colour around the border now, as if we go back to the preview, if we look at the colour around the border, it's now blue instead of white, which is more matching the format that we've got. So again, back to the editor and into the form. So it's here, the field colour, which we made that sort of pale bluey grey, and then the border colour that we changed to the my blue colour that I use in the branding. Okay, so that's the border. The next thing we can do is to collect more information, and we do that by adding fields to the email collection form. Here at the moment we've just got the email address, but if we go back to the form, you'll see that we can add, just purely by clicking on this box here, we can add first name and we can add last name. So that will then give us additional information that we're going to collect. And if you change your mind, you can just literally delete those using the bin here to delete those fields. So we're back to where we were before. But we will go back to the form and we'll add those two fields in so that we've got some extra information we're collecting about anyone who's signing up to your form on your landing page. Okay, so now we've got that, we can actually add labels to these fields. So if I go click onto that email address box, for example, we now come to this area, and I can add in a label that says email. If I click on first name, I can add a label that says or maybe forename, and then if I click on last name, we can add in surname onto there. So you can put field labels for each individual field in your form if you wish to. Again, if you want to just change that, you click on the box and simply delete out the text there, and it will take the label off. Do the same with that one. And in this one, instead of just having email, what we could do there is put in something like please enter your contact details, and that will show in just above the email address, but it very obviously relates to the whole of the form. So that's a good way of doing that. And then if we go back to the form again and we look here, we can change the color of the label if we wish to. So again, you can do it in all the normal ways, but I'll change it here again to my brand blue color. Oops, that's the one. So that will change that there, and I can also change the size of it if I wish to make it a little bit bigger. Yep, so we'll just take that down to say 16, I think is fine. And there we've now got the form. Now we've made our changes. We've changed the text, and we've changed the colour of the button. We've added more fields in here. We've added some labels in, and so we'll leave it there for now. We'll update that form so that next time we come back we'll see those changes, and if we preview we'll see what it looks like so far. So we're beginning to improve the content and the style of the overall landing page, but we've just been concentrating on the form for now. So we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like below, and then if you want to see more videos, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.